How does this happen? How does Liquid just... They can't close games. They just struggle so hard, and then they get lucky. They get the Apex and the Fusion Rune on the Morphling, and they're like, yes, this is it. But then Na'Vi still is able to fight them off quite like, oh my goodness. How does this happen? That's my analytical question. How does this happen?
I don't know, but the teams had fun. Navi's still like smiling over there, like Pasha. I mean, he just made like eye contact. He just made a big grin. Like, he was listening to what you were saying as well, and he was like, "Yep."
That's what happened. Yeah. Going back to that, like Liquid, it feels like you can see they have this dominant lead, and they always do this like high ground push at 30 minutes, and they lose a hero. And then they never want to push again because they're so scared of losing that one. That's at least how I view it.
It's like, I feel like at the end of the day, sometimes you got to just realize, you know, hey, we're about as strong as we can be in relation to our opponents. We've got Aegis, we've got Cheese, we're like 6-slotted. Just win the game. Yep. You know, because if you're forced to use like a buyback, maybe a one-core diebacks, you know, they're not farmed enough on Na'Vi at like 30 minutes to just march down the base and like kill the throne, right? You've just got to be willing to commit. But by trying not to throw, they end up extending the game so that the throw is possible.
And then everyone gets 6-slotted, but they seem to come out on top a lot. So
and wanted to bring up, because it's also a little deceiving that this net worth lead grows so high, because you got to keep in mind that's partially just because Liquid are now buying items to replace neutral items, which don't impact your net worth. So Na'Vi only might have like one core that's 6-slotted, but you know everyone else has neutral items. So it doesn't really create that much of an advantage. Plus, Liquid's holding like 20, 30,000 gold. At a point in that game, they had 35,000 gold just banked. There's no lead anymore. And the end.
Yeah, good point. Like the Trident's what, 6,600 gold? That's immediately just chunked off the net worth as soon as you built it. And Fallen Skies, I mean, those were really right toward the end of it. But yeah, we saw that. And also, speaking of Fallen Sky and Trident, seems like Na'Vi kind of got like the crappy roll on those items, and the Holy Trinity seems to be built for Liquid as they get the Fusion Rune and they get the Apex for the Morphling.
And the Woodland Striders on the only hero that really wants them, the Tree and Protector.
I want to ask Magical if you knew that it gave True Strike, because I don't think
you know, if he doesn't know, he doesn't know. You're an analyst.
Wait,
all right, or
Magical, did you know Rapier gave True Strike? You just found out?
He just forgot,
Oh, you forgot. Okay, that's fine.
Yeah. It happened. It was clear
I didn't know till yesterday.
I mean, we just clear though, because he was like building like Radiance and stuff on his career, so he was clear like he just thought that he needed to hold on to the MKB. No. Either way, an item there, I don't even think it would have changed because the way that Liquid was playing it and holding out until those stages where the Morphling can just win the game with an Apex. So.
And to be fair, also like. There's too much stuff going on, you know what I mean?
So much.
My man is like, he's got no boots, trying to survive. He's microing a courier with Radiance.
4 couriers died
like,
the last fight.
It's super easy for people, you know, in Twitch chat to watch the game and be like, oh man, he could have the perfect items. Why hasn't he eaten an Axe? And he should have a Daedalus. I've done the math. Like,
there's a lot more.
There's shit going down, you know? You're not running for your life.
All right, guys, let's look at the MVP, which Twitch chat had a very long time to vote for.
Okay.
Ice Frog? Ice Frog?
I mean, at this stage,
Mickey?
It's no, Taiga.
Taiga.
I mean, he won a lot of hearts over when they played against Virtus Pro on his Willow, but Taiga played a great Treant game.
I would probably agree with this. I think Mickey and Magical played the 2 best games in that.
Yes.
What are you looking at?
0% for Koikfa for the Oscar performance.
I mean, that was...
How rude.
Also, he's had a very difficult name to write.
That's true.
That's fair.
Sure, I don't know. Can you spell Koikfa, Grant?
Hey.
Stop.
All right, guys. Well, we know the break has been short so far, but it's going to be another short break, and then we're going to play game 2 of the series.
There's another?
There is another.
Oh,
and there might even be 2 more, so we'll see you soon.
Rick Gaming Esports, professional esports housemaker.
A game where you try to win your lanes, then you take some towers, maybe take a Roshan, go high ground, win the game. Easy game, very simple, but not for these two teams. It seems to be a bit of a struggle.
Even easier than that, Sheaves. You just wait and see which team gets the Apex, and they're going to win.
Well, I'm not sure if we're going to make it to 17 minutes this time around.
I love how Assault, like, I don't understand. The teams are having so much fun. They're like swearing at each other with smiles on their face, and the community's just like, God damn it.
This was such an epic game, but...
Guys, it's Na'Vi, Liquid, Game 2, DreamLeague Season 13, elimination on the line, and it's Liquid that is one game up. Let's find out what's going to happen here in Game 2. In terms of bans, we have another puck ban and a tiny ban for Liquid, no surprises there.
Same thing Alliance did yesterday.
Yep, and then for Na'Vi, they banned the Timber and then the Lone Druid. They did the same thing previous game. They also banned out the Slark that time around, and it was Naga Siren that was banned by Liquid on this stage.
Yep, I like it. I think at the end of the day, your opening bans are best targeted at your enemies like niche picks that they play like top tier that you don't fully understand. Like they play them, you don't. So remove them from the pool. Everybody can play the broken heroes. You can find the counter picks. You can have something prepped in response.
But a lone druid, you know what he's gonna do. But if he's just hella good at it, maybe you can't.
They've got like 3 players that can play lone druid on Liquid as well. It's one of Koifa's best heroes, too.
Ooh, they ban out the Doom this time round. And I know Liquid has first pick, so at least they have the chance of picking up Disruptor or Naga. Probably Disruptor in that case, unless Na'Vi bans out that. Because obviously people still really like Disruptor Naga as an opening.
And IO was left in the entire time, obviously, because that first pick Disruptor kind of like really makes you think about that IO a lot more, even though IO is a very, very good hero.
I think you Wisp here if you're Liquid with Naga out of the pool.
Yeah, if they're comfortable with it for sure. Or you just take the first pick Disruptor if you do want it.
Man.
Even with Naga out of the pool.
Tree was really effective in that game. I know it. Yeah. It's just. It's because of the AoE, I think it helps them secure their team fight. It's an incredible laner. Na'Vi really like the Drow as an example. You just run at them with Tree in the laning phase, and AoE root shuts down BKB timings. Like I really hate seeing drafts when it ends up you have 5 heroes, no one can do anything to a hero BKB. It just feels like a significant hamper.
And Na'Vi, they're fine picking the lifesteal into the Tree, but we just saw in that last game the Tree canceled like 5 of the Rage TPs multiple times, so you think you're okay playing it, maybe you're not.
There's a reason he got MVP, right?
Yep. I prefer Manta Agi course. Personally, I think PL, as an example, is still really bonkers. Again, I can't believe, like, Lifestealer and PL both have talents for 20% evasion, but PL gets his at level 10, and Lifestealer is at level 20. Like, how does that make any sense?
Remember I told you that it got changed yesterday, and you were just like, wait, what? It's 20 at 10 now? I was like, yeah, I got buffed like what is it, 15 to 20 like a month ago.
You know what the funniest part, though, is that I'm not going to name names, but I'll give you a hint. There's 2 carries that both come from Canada that always get the attack speed. 20 attack speed is worth, what, 400 gold? 20% evasion is like 2,000?
Is it RTZ?
Is it
That's
TC?
one of them. They both have 2 E's in their name.
Well, there's one in the tournament, and there's one not in the tournament.
Viper.
Indeed. Oh, and in the first phase.
Really good against Trient.
Yep.
And
Nice with Disruptor too. I like the amplified magical damage is always nice. Also good laner. This is comfort for them.
Yep, you need one of 2 things with Viper, either global mobility or like really good catch.
Yeah.
Because it's an incredibly slow hero that you want to play around, but he doesn't really have the tools to do that himself. I also think Magical is one of the better Vipers and just in general, good hero. Break mechanics are so few and far between. It's another thing that's really valuable in the game nowadays.
Yeah. Now it's like try to Huskar us, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
We've got Vipers. They're gonna run it back. They like the way it worked, and it's also very flexible.
And it's great with the tree. So nice. I love Lesh Tree. You just natural AoE, right?
Big too, big AoE. Leshrat and tower push, right? Like on one side you have Na'Vi, sure you can sit behind a Viper, but this Leshrat can just solo kill your tower every time.
It was also really funny. We were talking with Blitz like in the green room, and he was saying like, yeah, we didn't plan on having Boxy play Lesh, but he was like, yeah, sure. We were just joking because every Han player can play Lesh because it's really busted back then.
Good old Torturer.
Like whenever I see them first pick, I assume it's Mickey, but like Blitz said, hey, if you can play, because it was a free morph game. It was an 80-minute game, but you know, the morph won, but we'll stick with it.
Like, it's just super funny, because you think of all the offlaners that just end up with the Lesh once in a while, like Moon Meander, Zai, all on players.
Yeah.
It is, I mean, it is extremely true, yeah.
Same with, we talk about Tiny too, because that was another, like Pebbles, man.
Ban the morph this time.
Drow Liquid, I think that's very smart. You already see a Viper, and that's just one of those Na'Vi heroes that I never want to play against.
How do we feel about just the sniper in general last game? Going away a little from the draft. It worked. I mean, they didn't win, but like, it looked good.
I don't think there's anything to really break down about that game. Like, what? The teams don't know what happened. How are we supposed to?
Because you're one of the smartest people I know, Kyle. It's an honor to sit here with you.
You have amnesia. You only remember like 3 people at once.
Oh, yeah. Fog, you're one of the smartest people. I'm just kidding.
Where am I?
All right, we got Liquid banning out the Lifestealer as well, so a lot of cores being targeted.
And as Kyle said, it's the specified. Like, you know, Crystallize, that's like his most spammed hero.
I have a question, though. Why doesn't anybody ban out Slark? I thought Slark was a lot better than all of those.
Well, Lesh is already pretty decent. Lesh can be pretty good versus it, because your damage just persists through it.
And Viper Disruptor is very good against Slark.
But what then about PL? Everybody was raving about Slark and PL, and they're ignored at the moment.
Fogged, I'll let you take this one.
Yeah.
Lich is also completely ignored too. These supers that were super popular.
But why?
It's a great question.
But why?
Yeah,
I guess
you're the analyst,
This
Kyle.
draft is going to answer, Kyle, I have a feeling. I love how Dota speaks for itself.
I think teams started to find, I wouldn't say like absolute solutions, but I think they've started to find heroes that can work really well versus it. Like the Underlord in particular, that PL was a big example. I need a second to gain my, get my composure from all
As the tournament goes on, right, you always talk about there's always metas inside the tournament. You see Slark 10 games in a row, you're going to finally learn something about the hero.
Yeah. But PL's banned anyway. Since they have Viper this time around, it kind of makes sense. Like, Viper can work versus it, but it's annoying. Also, Disruptor kind of same is like,
I guess
still an obnoxious hero.
The conversation that they might have been having is whether they would pick PL or ban PL, and they ended up banning it.
Yeah, just get rid of it.
I can see that. Hey, you just take your next support here.
What are you liking?
It's hard to say, because the reason Lesh Tree is such a cool opener is because you really give nothing away. The Lesh could be pretty much anywhere. I like Shaker. It's another really mobile hero, and it helps set up kills for Viper. You need lockdown with the hero, and it's one of those mids that you can kill with, but if you aren't able to, like, Viper wants to pressure his opponent. If you can't do that, if the other team is the one with the roaming 4, you don't really feel like the same hero any longer.
I think I like Rubik for Liquid if they would like to play it. It's first Viper and Earthshaker.
That's true.
It looks pretty great.
I mean, you don't really, for stealing Nether Toxin, even? Because I've seen Vipers just skip their ult and go like 4 for 4.
It's for Nether Toxin. Absolutely, that's what you want. That's
just farm waves, yeah.
You break the Viper, too. You break Corrosive Skin, you break Enchant, you break Aftershock and Earthshaker if he blinks into shot Echo. They're going to run it back. They're just going to stick with it. It worked last game.
I mean, it is not the greatest Huskar.
You're probably not Huskar. I feel that's the one hero you might be changing here.
Yeah, but it's the combo, though. Oracle Huskar has been the combo for forever.
There's other ones. I think it's also one of the few answers, perhaps, to Disruptor, right? Because you can't swap, you can't get them out of it, but you could just put your ult on them and try and heal them through.
Insania's already talking.
Foxy just gave me a thumbs up. Liz is just laughing.
He's just a spider.
I was about to say, I was like, that Enchantress pick, I love it in the offlane, and now you just got brooded.
Yeah.
This Enchantress hero does jack squat to that hero.
Yeah.
And so does Viper. Viper laning phase versus Broodmother.
These nerds, man. Liquid first game Huskar, second game Brood. Like, what?
You got to be right. I mean, they are the team that does it, right? They used to. They were the team that freaking first phased Brood.
Yeah.
Like, you got to be ready for it.
This is such a good Broodmother game.
It really is. The supports don't do anything.
But guys, let me be Twitch chat. There's an Earthshaker.
Whoa.
Wow.
Am I wrong?
You're not wrong. I'm sure that
I mean, it is big AoE. Do you just how do you avoid like not getting all your spiders ulted? It's just your micro, right? You farm the jungle. You just leave your hero away, or what?
I mean, you just play good, right?
You micro it, or you just...
I don't know. Hey, just don't let him dunk you standing on your spiders.
You just play good.
Maintain a little bit of separation.
It's more so, it's about like what this hero does in the laning. It makes a disaster of your lanes. Like Earthshaker, like you're not going to be able to fix your lanes that much as a Shaker unless you put it like directly against the Broodmate, which is the weird. I wouldn't like that anyway.
You could do that at this point. Like, the problem is that right now, your 2 cores are just garbage against Brood, right?
Yeah,
I think you need to make Enchantress a support and Shaker core. Because otherwise, you're just in this position where as soon as Koifa's like up and running, whether he goes like the Diffusal or the Orchid build, you just take over the map. And these 2 supports just effectively, oh, well, Brood's here, I guess I'll run away. Like, you remember there was some match Liquid played like a couple of years ago where it was like 8 minutes in, and the enemy had like coddled Disruptor supports, and Mind Control was like diving tier 3s, just chasing the coddle, and he couldn't do anything.
Literally nothing.
I know like the other day we saw like the Beastmaster versus that Broodmother was pretty strong. I thought that was actually quite good. Now it's also a Pango. The Roar actually looks really nice. It's good in the lane versus the Broodmother too. I see them banning the Abaddon, but there is an Oracle. That's the one thing it's like Oracle, that strong Dispel versus the Roar can be pretty annoying.
But I will say I think Beast is still the best counter. Liquid did it, so too. Or Nigma did it yesterday, lost to the Brood anyway. But
like, what do you do as a game then? Your hardest carry would be a Viper? Are you okay with that?
Sure.
Oh, yeah.
Do you put the Disruptor mid?
That sounds disastrous.
Honestly, for anyone but the Brood, I'm like,
the Spider's pretty terrifying. Would you have been okay if you're like tied up in the corner and Sam shows up with a little sword to go up against Sheila? Would you feel good about that?
No.
But you still won. Like, he saves the day. Like, You just hope for the best.
Oh, do you meant Sam from Lord of the Rings? I think you meant Bulba. I was like, God, no. Absolutely not.
Bulba as well. Like, this is weird.
I knew Kyle was already doing a reference, so I was already preparing myself with what it was going to be a reference.
All right, guys. Last pick for Na'Vi. What do they need? Something to deal with the spider.
I think it's like Monkey King. Like, I don't even know if that's even good anymore.
Is TA? You could TA as well. It's weird, but later in you start one-shotting spiders and side-blading them. It's either I actually like TA the most.
And it's magical.
Exactly, and it kind of gives them that ability to.
It will still be the Slark. Maybe you just built the Viper differently against
I have
the
to see
Brood.
who's playing what.
We can't because our monitor here died, so we gotta have to wait and see.
It has to be Core Shaker.
You put Core Shaker against Brood, try and impact his laning phase. At a point, you do just hunt him throughout the game. I'm just, Na'Vi need to not lose by 20 minutes, 25 minutes. Liquid, in theory, can get an axe timing on Brood and just have total map control.
This laning phase could be real rough for Na'Vi.
Yeah. I think Liquid's lanes look so damn strong.
And they won all three.
But who are you guys kidding? It doesn't matter if Liquid can get a lead. Defense.
Meme or not, you're not wrong. They really have problems ending the game.
Yeah, so let's find out if their draft solves that problem this time around. It is game 2. It's Na'Vi versus Liquid, and it's Capitalist and Lizard.
Well, it was an exciting game 1 that drew out for a very, very long time. But here we are in game 2, where I'm expecting a swifter climax, Lizard, because we've got a filthy Broodmother pick on the side of Liquid.
Did you see that intro, by the way? That small little clip? They had Spider-Man suits. There it is. There are Spider Boys.
Yeah.
I actually like the Shaker on the side of Na'Vi, but I'm not so certain in Magical. It's Magical going to be playing it, I suppose. And he on mid...
Okay, Crystallize. Okay. Cuts down the tree and he'll be fine. No first blood here.
Is it, though? Or is he going to be top? I'm wondering if he's going to be still playing the Viper and they just put Pasha on that mid lane. I think he's a bit more experienced. Top lane we have Zayats right now. It's going to be your position for a Disruptor. I'm not super surprised that they put the Shaker mid because it's much stronger, right? You don't have anything else to play against that Brood. And if they picked a midder, like Panel suggested, such TA, they would really have a bad lineup overall.
Yeah, they just would not. We see so many of these games going to late. Like, I can't remember the last time a game actually ended by 25 minutes. It's going at least 35, if not 45, 50.
It's Liquid.
So,
Don't be humble.
Liquid.
40 minutes.
Secure yourself some late game, and that's what Na'Vi does with a Slark pick.
Yeah, it's Crystallized Slark. He's known to be really good on this hero, so we'll see how he fares. Overall, I think they have a solid team fight later on in the game. You have the Shaker, you have the Disruptor, you have the Nether Toxin as well. You should be fine. It is Magical, after all, playing that Shaker mid versus Koikwa. This lane, the problem here is Magical should be fine. The thing is, this player has a hero puddle, not a hero pool. He's well known in the CIS scene to have a limited amount of heroes that he can play really well. And I'm not so sure if Shaker is one of those heroes, because it's not your casual mid hero. It used to be popular, but long time ago.
They're going to turn things around here onto Pashu. It's a little bit far forward on the Viper. Someone else who might be a bit uncomfortable on his hero for his role. Trying to make that Viper into a 3 position.
This is so good from Liquid, the way they set up their lanes. Pango is just creep skipping on the bottom lane. He will find experience on his own. Shouldn't have any problems versus Ilias. On the top lane, Tri-lane should at least crush Viper and Disruptor, and Viper is dying again.
Okay, he TP back and immediately dies. Walk of shame it is. 2 kills already for Team Liquid.
The waddle of shame. He's so slow on Viper. He's going to take ages to look at that. 278 movement speed. He's going to take ages to come back to the lane.
And Zayats, he's going to be pushed out and probably killed here. Split Earth lands. The slow from the Brambles is still there. And a couple of right clicks.
They got him. They just set up their lane so well. Liquid. It's a problem when you pick Brood and they already have their mid, right? The Viper was supposed to go mid, and now they just set up their lanes in such a way that Viper is going to just feed. He can't really go top.
Yeah, if they move that Earthshaker into a core role, it means they have to have a Enchantress 5, which can do nothing to stop Boxy as he continues to pull creeps and around the towers into the...
That's why I love this last pick as well for Boxy. The last pick, Pango. They literally waited for that Viper. They're just going to escort him back to the fountain once again, it seems. One more hit.
The heal comes in, but Taiga, that big fist doing 100 damage.
But because it took him such a long time to walk to the top lane, now he has a TP of cooldown. Yay! We're back, boys.
2.5 minutes in, 4 deaths into the game, but by God, he's going to get his level 2.
Eventually.
How's mid lane going? 5 denies on the Earthshaker. Not too bad there.
Yeah, literally, how that lane goes is Shaker should have an advantage and he should be able to deal with the Brood Mother, but Brood just goes to the jungle and farms. And we've seen Beast Coast and what they did with that Brood. Literally, just went to the jungle, got his Orchid and dominated later on.
Well, Pasha got level 2, but he also got his 4th death, so...
It's fine. He has no legs. He's working out those wings.
Yeah,
He wants to have a bigger wingspan, just, you know.
He's building out the killing spree on Taiga, so when they finally do kill him, he's worth a lot of gold and experience, right?
It's next level. We don't understand this.
It's beyond our expertise.
Taiga warding so deep already. He understands that they're just dominating this lane and they want to continue doing so.
Yeah, what does a Viper do if you can't lane? Well, apparently try and jungle.
He has a stack there, so perhaps they can jungle together. It's not the worst thing to... I mean, it is one of the worst things to do. Maybe feeding in the jungle.
Could be. As Taiga's going to show up, slows him down, hit him once, gets the Orb of Venom, and can he follow it up with more into the tier 2? Taiga wants the kill, and he'll have that dominating streak for him, but Zayats gets the kill in return, 360 gold.
He just got level 4.
A good amount of experience, yeah, he's just got a lot for that. 2 levels, okay.
Feeds on the lane, feeds in the jungle. It doesn't look well for Pasha.
Hey, just got another 100 gold for the award that they found as well.
At least Zayats is having a good time, so perhaps with that fast level 6 on Disruptor, he can make some moves. We have seen Disruptor... You know what, actually? We have seen Disruptor cores and Viper supports in this patch, in this tournament, so, you know, just switch it up around, make the Disruptor the farm priority hero, and you're fine.
Yeah, Pasha, you're support now. Take some tips from Fada on how to play Viper's support. Navi, you're going to be able to get both bounty runes at top. Boxy, tried to get one at bottom, but sadly, no such luck there. Oh, okay. Missing out on the growth.
Bramble Maze from Taiga.
And Zayats. Kinetic field separating them just a little bit, but there is going to be one more nuke coming out from Insania. Is that enough? It is. Magical, he's going to show up. Fisher blocking, but he's by himself here. So just trying to run down these heroes. Pasha's showing up, but he's too slow to actually catch anybody.
This is actually such a bad rotation from him as well, because he's leaving Brood unchecked. I think he needs to continue pressuring this Koitwa. Top lane is lost. You should forget about that lane.
Yeah, there's no recovering that one.
There's no recovery, definitely, on this top lane. You need to handle the other 2 lanes.
And got all this experience on his Zayats, but now he's going to die twice now to Insania. Taiga and Insania aren't even playing in the lane, and they're both level 3, soon to be level 4, because they keep getting so many hero kills.
And you can see them, they're just rotating in that part of the jungle that's free for the Viper to farm, so he can't get absolutely anything. What level is he? 3? 2? He's level 3.5. That's something at least. He has boots, raid band. Actually, much more than I expected, considering he died 5 times already. 5 times in 6 minutes. This looks like my average pub and my average Viper.
Well, comparing it to Boxy, it's not a good show. Boxy is 19-2, so similar CS, but he's level 5 over here. Mostly because, you know, he has an answer to Slark. If he gets pounced on, he can just shield crash over the pounce, again, break it,
As shield
swashbuckle away.
Buckle,
yeah.
And he's constantly just pulling the creeps as well. He's fine on that bottom lane. I think that's why the Pango was such a brilliant pick for them, as it's one of those heroes that can just stand alone on that off lane and still get some farm and experience. He doesn't have a lot of farm, but XP is there.
Guys, leave Pasha alone. Hey, they are going to be able to get the glimpse back. That should be a kill, as Ilias is going to try and get it, but the push forward from Leipzig, not enough to get Zayat, and this time around, Magical comes up with a rotation that's well worth it.
That was such a good rotation too. They got Mickey and they got the Treant. And you know what? We're talking about how Viper is suffering, but look at the net worth. He's actually above the Pango. And at the same time, the levels aren't really far apart. Pango is what, level 5? Maybe level 6 now, but they're close. Okay, so level and a half advantage for Boxy. That's quite significant. But well, net worth is similar.
That's only significant if you do something with it. We'll have to see what Boxy does with his ultimate now that he has it. For the most part, he kind of wants to just farm up some more Royal Jelly for Koifa. Mana regen is always nice for a Broodmother, as he's a hero that gets a lot of issues with that. As you said, just mostly farming jungles with the spiders. No reason to get close to Magical in his Echo Slam.
Yeah, you can't. He maxed out his passive, and if you get caught by one fissure next to all of those spiders, at least you'll feed all the Spider-Mans.
Yeah. Crystallize, he is free farming at the end of the day. And this is the Slark. He's going to be the biggest hero in the late game. So there is plenty of silver linings here for Na'Vi. Just because we keep on watching Pasha die doesn't mean that Na'Vi aren't fine. There's always a point.
There's always a point in the game in which you're beating a dead horse, right? And that's what happened to Pasha. At some given point, maybe if they rotated somewhere else, it would have been even better for them. Because Viper, he already doesn't have a game. If you kill him again, you get what, 100 gold for it.
Yeah,
it's just not amazing.
Let's do something else. Let's try and kill Boxy here, but he does manage to get off the Rolling Thunder, stopping the glimpse from taking effect. He's going to bounce off the walls here and then bounce on out of here. Seeing as they already used the glimpse, he doesn't have to worry about that. He's home, scot-free, while Magical starts putting some pressure on the tower. Because Koifa is not able to defend with the spiders, it's funny how this matchup can actually turn the other way, and Magical might be able to be the one taking the tower first, but it's Mickey at top.
It's usually what we see, right? We see Broodmothers dominating the mid lane, but then if they're counterpicked by some Shakers or Tinies or like Saw Beastmaster, Conkas. They're the ones that lose the tower earlier. However, if they get that defusal BKB fast and on time, they can still make a lot of impact and join these mid-game team fights.
Yeah, Orchid as well can be really effective for this game against Earthshaker. I'm not sure if Magical's gonna, he's gonna go straight for the Blink Dagger. I'm assuming Aghanims is still on the menu later on.
Yesterday, I think it was yesterday or the day before that we did see the Orchid. Oh,
that's back. Static Storm. They're going to be able to bring down Boxy.
We saw the Orchid on the Broodmother and it was super effective.
Oh, yeah.
But in this game, Diffusal, I think, is also quite all right.
Yeah, you always love Diffusal Blade against, Strength Cores in general. You like it against Slark, just to be able to... his mana is such a key component to who he is as a hero.
Crystallize also working towards that Diffusal. Found an Arcane Ring.
Looks like we did split the outposts and split the bounty runes as well, as I believe. Magical just 400 away from the Blink Dagger, while Diffusal Blade is almost here for Koifa.
Actually surprised he's going for that Blink Dagger. I'm a big fan of Aghanims of that core Shaker.
Oh, almost enough. Boxy, no untouchable just yet on this Enchantress, so he may still have a chance to be able to get the kill, but the heal is just too much. Boxy tries to get him with Swashbuckle, and he does get it this time around.
And Boxy is one of those great Pango players that always has a pretty decent impact in these games. He's going for utility this time around. He has... Oh,
Turn around, double stun just to get him a little bit of distance away from this Broodmother.
And you could see the way Koikwa was playing that. Koikwa, obviously an experienced Broodmother player. He moves only the hero onto Magical while he's farming with the Spiderlings. He doesn't want to give this Earthshaker a chance to use that Echo properly.
Yeah, and Insatiable Hunger's a very low cooldown, so you could just pop it kind of whenever you want. You don't necessarily have to get a kill, just put some pressure on them, see what happens.
Especially when you have a couple of clarities, that Soul Ring as well, the mana isn't really an issue, so it's fine. Just pressure him a little bit and make him go back.
So the Blink Dagger is online. How do you want Na'Vi to set this up? Do you want someone to like run into mid and smoke Magical? Are you okay just to chill out for now?
I think if he shows that Blink, it's going to be bad, but if he keeps the courier behind the tower, Broodmother comes mid and then he sends it to himself, it could be really good. It could be super effective. But with this Haste Rune, perhaps they can even rotate with it instantly. There's a smoke with Ilias. There you go.
Okay, now we got to go for the Broodmother in the jungle. We got to go for one of the side lanes.
They don't have any vision in the jungle, that's the thing.
Yeah.
Now, and you can see that Koikwa is very careful, and he's scanning. He understands exactly what they're planning to do.
Yeah, Magical hasn't left the lane. He's always been showing himself this entire time. Why is he missing now? Well,
exactly.
He's probably got a good idea of that, and they are going to be able to find that ward on the high ground. They try and get a vision of that medium camp that's so often farmed by mid laners, but Koikwa, again, has these spidey senses to know not to be there.
I think that's a small mistake maybe from Na'Vi, the way they smoked, because it's so obvious. It's a core shaker. One of the problems of a core shaker is if he's not on the lane, you know that he's making a move somewhere. He's not farming the jungle. There's no reason for him to do that, especially around this 12-minute mark.
Glimpse back onto the Treant Protector.
Finally, Pasha is like, you bullied me throughout my childhood.
And now, I mean, he's still ahead of the Pango. He's going to have a decent recovery in this game. Bottom lane, Mikke. He already took the offlane tower. Now he looks to take the safe lane of Na'Vi with that maxed out Diabolic Edict and the early Boots of Travel. That is something that Na'Vi are going to be really worried about. Against a Broodmother and a Leshrac, all semblance of map control is going to be out the window unless they can fight them soon.
Yeah, and they need map control. They need to make this Slark and Shaker work, right? And they won't be able to do so if there's no vision on the map. And right now there isn't any. Shaker didn't really manage to make anything with that 2 minutes rotation. He just went back to the mid lane, and maybe now he can rotate back bottom. He still has that haste rune.
Na'Vi do trade safe lane towers here, but with Liquid being a bit faster, they have a chance to make a move down here. But Magical, he's here to run in front of him. He's going to be able to jump on top of Insania. Double hit from the Enchant Totem. Makes an easy kill. Glimpse back on a Mikke as well, but he found an Invis rune.
He has travels, and the Invis rune is very difficult to take down, to catch. So that haste and Blink Dagger reveal is on a position 5. So not really the best way to use a core shaker so far, but he's farmed really well. They have pressured this mid tier 1. They haven't lost the mid to the Brood at all, but I'm worried for them. Koikwa has almost 8,000 net worth. The Diffusal Medallion is there. He's moving towards the BKB. I don't think he even needs to fight before the BKB. Once he has it, though, it's go time.
Yeah, you fight with that, and fight with the, jump into Boxy, instant Echo Slam, the overgrowth out from Taiga's trying to slow down the damage, but it's not enough.
That's much better. Moving towards that top lane, following up with the pounce from the Slark. They got a really nice kill there on Boxy.
And they need this Slark to have a good game too, because they picked this Slark into a Leshrac, so he's going to need one of those BKBs around the mid game. He won't be able to stall it up very long like many carries do, right? They're like, let's go 4th item BKB. In this game, you got to pick it up
early. Or no BKB at all on some heroes right now. He needs to get it very, very soon. I don't think he can go for something like an Aghanim's. You're also playing versus a Broodmother. You need to get it.
And there you have it. 2nd item BKB is on the docket for him after the Diffusal blade.
I love the Clumsy Net on Slark, by the way. I talked about the Clumsy Net on Lesh. I think it's one of the great items on Leshrac to get early on. But on Slark, it's almost just as good, if not even better.
Look at that. Good setup by Insania. He puts the Q onto Boxy, and then Boxy, just chases down the Viper. Eventually, they get that big nuke. It wasn't really needed too much.
Insania, when he started playing, Oracle was one of his most played heroes of position 5. He would literally be in every single pub of mine, and he would narrate everything that he is doing.
Stag Storm, okay, that's going to kill a lot of creeps and a lot of spiders, but is it going to win the fight? Don't think so, because Boxy, he's on top of Disruptor. Koifa going to join him for the kill. Meteor Hammer finish off the tier 1, and Liquid are in full-on blitz mode. They are running over Na'Vi.
They got that Pupil's Gift as well on Broodmother. It's really good because Broodmother is one of those heroes that's a little bit on the squishier side. She's an edgy hero, and Pupil's Gift definitely works super well for
Oh, this would be a massive kill. They can get it. Mickey's low on mana. Crystallize not able to catch up, though. Fortunately, wasn't able to pop the Dark Pact before the Yules.
I think that Static Storm usage is really telling about Na'Vi and their strategy in this particular match. They just want to delay until Slark is online, perhaps Aghanim is completed on that Shaker. Also, one big problem for them is this Viper. Even though he did recover, he almost has the same net worth as Shaker, which is concerning a little bit.
Yeah,
he's still a hero that needs to be in front. You know, he needs to be tanky. He needs to have more items. He needs to bring this utility when he's played from the offlane.
Philosopher's Stone for Pasha. That'll help them. A bit BKB now complete on Koifa, though.
It's go time.
Yeah, it's gonna be go time for a long time for Liquid. And Na'Vi, as you said, just trying to not concede too many towers too early. Just stall this game out until a point they have the BKB on Slark, then they can fight back.
I love the third item, Aghanims on Koifa as well. I think many players make a mistake of rushing that Aghanims a bit too soon, and then you're pretty much useless for 5 minutes until you get Diffusal BKB. This way, you're very useful with the BKB with Diffusal, and you can rotate across the map later on with Axe.
Insania is going to get the ultimate off on himself. Crystallize is going to stick with him, though. Koifa slowed down by the Viper Strike as well. He is going to be helped out by the Purge there, and Insania heals up to full, so nobody dying on the side of Liquid.
Sadly, for Crystallize, I believe he just lost his Diffusal. It wasn't there on cooldown. It needed a couple of seconds.
Oh, they found Taiga, though. He slipped out of the trees right in front of Na'Vi.
This game is looking much, much better for Na'Vi than I thought it would.
Yeah.
They don't have solutions to some heroes. They try to go on the Enchantress, but Broodmother, he doesn't want to use the BKB, right? Koifa doesn't want to waste that BKB for a position 5 kill, and because of that, then just heals up. You can't hit her.
Top of that, the Untouchable going through the Magic Immunity, BKB, it's just a nuisance, so better not to commit at all, just back up. There's the Yule Scepter from Zayats. Not trying to rush the Aghanims. Wants that setup item first. Pupil's Gift for Viper. That's actually a pretty good one. Any agility hero is pretty happy with the Pupil's Gift.
You just mentioned the Yules on Disruptor. I think it's one of the best items to get early on a position 4 Disruptor. On 5, you don't have the space for it, so you need to rush the Aghanims if you're going for it even.
Right. Boxy, once again, they're going to do that combo with the Oracle, keeping Magical in place. He's going to pop the Echo Slam instantly to try and stun and stall Boxy long enough so he can blink away, and he does so. But is the rest of his team going to get caught? They do manage to get the net onto Crystallize here. The Pounce up. He also has the Shadow Dance. So he needs to be able to just stall until his Pounce is back up online. Managed to cut through the trees. Shadow Dance. Oh, hit by the Rolling Thunder. Stalled up. And now the Pounce, it's up. But he's surrounded by too many heroes. All of Liquid.
There are just way too many AoE spells on the side of Liquid for this Slark to survive without a BKB. He needs to get it as soon as possible, or he will continue falling like this. Also, a very worrying thing is the fact that they didn't even have a possibility of that Broodmother to join them around that shrine because he didn't have enough webs, he couldn't get there. And they still just take a easy pick off on their carry Slark and move away.
8-13. I like your point about the Aghanim Scepter as well because of the Leshrac and Pango, right? You don't have to worry about the side lanes at all.
Yeah, you just wait, you get the things that you need to make yourself useful in that mid game, around mid, make your team play around you, and after that you get the Aghanims and you're able to pretty much be anywhere on the map in a matter of seconds.
Yeah, your team will push out the side lanes for you and then move into that mid lane, ready to fight. Meantime, they can build up more and more of a net worth lead. There's the Yules for the Disruptor. Not sure if that changes too much though.
it helps him out to go in some solo pick-off actions with like maybe Slark or Shaker, because it's easier to pick off targets. It's also easier to set up that static storm. Obviously, it's a dispel on yourself if you get initiated on, but that's not the main use of a Yules on this chapter, because if you're getting initiated on, you're pretty much dead afterwards anyway.
Oracle, pick up the... Don't you have a GPM talent at 10? Isn't that crazy? Boxy, Rolling Thunder bouncing around, is going to be able to hit the Viper a few times, actually nets him up to keep him stunned, and those stuns lead him to a static storm. Crystallize is going to be able to fight back here, but the silence isn't good enough. There's no damage to bring down Boxy or Koifa here, so move it back.
If that Viper had a better laning stage, perhaps he would already have that Force Staff there, and that doesn't happen. But there's a problem with the Viper. He doesn't have any mobility spells built in, and you need him to be strong off of that laning stage. I think Liquid read that perfectly well and set up that tri-lane on top lane to make use of his immobility on that.
Middle tower is under attack.
Aghanim Scepter for the Earthshaker. So
GG.
and some more mobility moving around. They're going to get a Tinker Ward to be able to spot the Treant Protector in these trees. As once again, Liquid are doing something very similar with their tree. Just he's off on an island, pushing in lane. Mid lane is where the action's going to be as Boxy tries to get a little bit closer with the shield crash. See if they can finish off Zion. Zion's out of the webs until another web spawns, so the spiders can pursue the kill, and they'll get it too. They'll give up a lot of spiders, but still worth it.
Ilias also TPs there, tries to mech him, but it just isn't good enough. And you could see that he almost managed to save himself with that Yules, but it just isn't good enough. Disruptor is sort of a hero that has to be in perfect positioning. If you get caught, if you get clipped, you're just gone.
Any spider lineup is going to look to do an early Roshan.
Taiga is wasting a lot of Magical's time because they are taking Roshan, like you just mentioned, and he's not there. He's not ready to even go.
It seems like they don't know about it until maybe it's too late. They see one spider outside of the pit. They're going to come forward now. Magical, thinking about it. How close is Roshan? Only at half HP. They've got plenty of time to work with. Dark Pact is going to remove the stun. Crystallize is going to turn. Nope, he goes back up into the high ground. They've got time to work with here. Let's let that Slark heal back up. Liquid won't be able to all-in commit to Roshan just yet.
It's not an easy Shaker game because of one more thing. You have Treant and you have Broodmother and Pango. They're just so elusive. They're able to walk over the cliffs as well. Well, Swashbuckle and the shield on Pango, but you have pretty much unobstructed mobility on Broodmother and Tree. So they're never really stuck together. They don't really care about clutch positioning.
Jump onto him. Insania already picked off a big kill, but Boxy's getting the chain stun on some of these heroes. They're going to go for this Slark. See if they can surround him, follow up, chain stun. And Crystallize is indeed dead. Now they're turning around to Static Storm, Kinetic Field, trying to keep some of these heroes back, but Koifa goes down the cliff, pops his BKB, and starting to target Ilias. Maybe, okay, he's still going to go for that Enchantress, won't have the damage to do so, thanks to Untouchable.
That was the slowest attack ever. I don't think Koifa knew about the BKB interaction with the new Enchantress. He pops it and tries to hit him, but it obviously will not work.
Yeah, it's one of those situations where like he didn't have a good target at all. So maybe, you know, he didn't need to pop the BKB at all. Can't go for the Enchantress or the Earthshaker at this point as Broodmother, so it does mean those two pickoffs, especially that kill on a Crystallize, that's going to be enough for them to take Roshan and get an Aegis for Mickey.
I love this. I think Koifa is very difficult to take down. He has that BKB, almost has the Aghanim completed as well. The courier is already here, 50 gold remaining. And Lesh is probably the main target for Na'Vi to take down easier.
Taiga farming so much with his Meteor Hammer that he now has a Blink Dagger, so he can join his team and be a lot more effective in team fights, getting the positioning for Overgrowth.
Craggy Coat picked up by Pango right now. He can carry it, he can also give it to Lesh. Probably, I think to Lesh, right? It's such a good item on him. If he has item slots, that is.
Yeah. Yeah, I would agree, especially since like when he is initiated on by the Earthshaker, it's going to come with a lot of physical damage from that Enchant Totem. So that survivability could be key. They have the overgrowth onto Magical here. The follow-up Meteor Hammer to keep him chain stunned. Then Mickey will hit the Split Earth as well. See if they can overwhelm him, but the stuns just aren't going to be good enough. They needed to chain it a little bit better because otherwise they didn't have the damage. Ilias, he may be run down here as Mickey looks to be able to finish him off with all this AoE damage. The heals will eventually wear out, but now Mickey and his mana has worn thin. He's going to turn back though because he's got Boxy rolling on in. Does manage to get the net onto Crystallize. A Force Staff gets him away from that chain stun. He's going to be able to get the BKB and pounce himself away. So it's only a 5 position that dies from Na'Vi, not terrible.
5 position that dies from Na'Vi, they also forced the BKB from Crystallize, but they should be happy with the way that ended as Broodmother was rotating in. They do manage to get out in the end. I think they also gave away the fact, the ward got devoted instantly on that bottom cliff because Enchantress, while Ilias was dying, he slows the tree and so he can't help out with the Slark pursuit.
Right. Good call by him and his dying breath to help where he can. Mickey will finish off this tier 2, leading to an 8,000 net worth lead for Team Liquid. Nullifier up next for Koipa. Well, if he'll go back for the full... what's that?
Mindbreaker on Broodmother as well, that's pretty good.
Oh, yeah. So he doesn't even need the Orca necessarily.
This is really difficult for Magical to do. Usually you want to be the Shaker that's just super elusive, hiding in the trees, waiting for someone to out-push. But in a game such as this one, you're playing versus a treant, right? And he can be there in those same trees, and if he finds you, you're most likely just dead.
Especially since like your mobility also plays into your strength, where, hey, they're gonna run out of stuns and I'll still be able to jump away, but they have so many chain stuns, Overgrowth, Rolling Thunder with the net, which is like 5 seconds to disable. Once you roll on him, then net him, and then just keep stunning him. Then you've got the follow-up of the stun from the Leshrac, and then you've got the Q from the Oracle. Like, those are all good lockdown abilities for an Earthshaker.
Yeah, that is super good. Oh, he gets out.
Science's life flashes before his eyes as he barely gets away from a Split Earth stun. Telescope.
It's pretty decent on Oracle. Not really perfect for Liquid as a team, but on Oracle it's pretty good. Helps you out with False Promise, obviously.
You know, you're able to scan a little bit more often, which I think for the most part Liquid has a good idea where Na'Vi is since they're able to play on Na'Vi's side of the map at all times, but couldn't hurt. Speaking of vision, I think Taiga's going to roll up with an Aghanim Scepter 3rd item. If this game draws out, another Aghanim's being built in Crystallize as the Slark, who needs to be able to get to that back line, threaten the Oracle, so he's forced to use False Promise on himself.
It would be perfect way of playing the team fights. If you are able to find the Oracle first, then your Disruptor can actually make use of that Static Storm properly in the team fight.
Smoke breaks, but Boxy blinks the wrong way, and Na'Vi.
Zayat, he might fall here.
The Overgrowth out. Oh, they spot him. Zayat. Heals Scepter in a vain attempt to get away.
Yeah, he didn't have a TP there. It was an 8 seconds cooldown, so
look at this.
Couldn't really get out.
They get that kill. They show so many heroes at top. Na'Vi thinks they can push out bottom, but they've made a very fast rotation. Mickey TP's in on the Boots of Travel. The rest of the team is TPing onto the outpost. So Pasha is going to be a little bit surprised as Mickey pops out from behind, misses a Split Earth though. Good for Staff as Pasha continues to man fight, but now the rest of the team of Liquid is here. They give him the tip as Pasha falls.
But you could also see that Na'Vi retreated instantly. They don't have a Disruptor and they don't want to fight that fight. 4 versus 5 is really bad for them. Also, they used the scan on the outpost. And as soon as that scan turned red, they knew, Pasha, you're just gone. We're bailing.
They're going to try and use the mobility of the Slark and the Earthshaker to push out the other lanes, but Liquid isn't going to give them the chance to do so. The Aegis may fade, but Mickey is still going to go for the high ground push. The backdoor protection is still up.
He has the BKB as well now, and he has to do this. The tier 3 will fall so quickly.
Just commit to it. See if they can open up those shrines, jump in, and we'll be able to kill some of the spiders here, and finally tier 3 falls. Liquid happy enough with that exchange, will start backing up. There's still the danger, though, of getting glimpsed. Zayat, he's going to go for it now, on to Mickey, followed up with the Fissure Stun, try and get some impetus damage in. Crystallize can't challenge the Leshrac for long. He needs to be able to back up to the high ground and start regenning up. The net, holding him in place. Na'Vi are basically just hoping they can keep Liquid within striking distance, but Liquid are finally able to disengage as the stunts run out.
It's such a difficult game for Slark. cap. He can't really initiate in. He can't go in without popping that BKB. He's also afraid of so many stuns that can go his way and just blow him up before he's able to use his ulti or the set BKB. You saw there, he tries to go on Lash, he drops to 50% in 2 seconds. And then he has 2 options, either go back or use BKB and his ulti. But
and using BKB and trying to commit for a kill, that's not going to work out so well, because then there's always the Oracle.
There's Oracle, and if you use that BKB, you're also playing versus a Treant. It's a difficult situation. They need to find a way to smoke up and get on those backlines first.
It's definitely a lot of options going the way of Liquid. When it comes to these team fights, Na'Vi a lot more limited as they scramble to find whatever farm they can.
I don't even see the way for Na'Vi. They have to be, like, I don't know, super genius in some sort of a way to approach Liquid, because you have this Treant always. Taiga is amazing with his positioning. Whenever you see Leshrac on one side of the map porting to outpush, Taiga is literally always in between them and the possible vectors of danger, right? He just stands there, and if anyone approaches, he's gonna break that smoke, and Lesh is fine.
And even if you do find that team fight, there's the double saves now. There's going to be the Oracle save that comes in, but then there's also Boxy, who has built a full sustain lineup. He's gone for Pipe, now he's going for Guardian Greaves. Like, he feels like he doesn't need to do the damage, because he can depend on the Broodmother and the Leshrac to provide it for him. Magical is almost out of mana here. He's going to have that Diffuse Blade. Echo Slam goes out. Now he is entirely out of mana. Mickey is going to be able to land that stun onto him and follow up Rolling Thunder just to make sure there wasn't going to be a team fight.
That Echo was tragical right there. They don't have an Echo to defend the high ground right now. And
yeah. That means Liquid are going to approach it with some confidence. Confidence that they've gained after a Game 1 victory. Orchid, not here for Koifa, but he doesn't need it to be able to bring down this melee barracks.
I'm so hyped. I can't believe I'm seeing Liquid taking Rax's sub 40-minute marker. I'm just hyped.
A successful high ground push by Liquid. Deny from Pasha on the range barracks. That's because Na'Vi, they can't even hope to fight, really. They're going to go for the statics. Oh, he still had the net. So he didn't get a chance. He figured out, well, I can silence him and then I'll be fine, but...
Taiga does fall in the back as he was left behind.
Yeah, that glimpse back pulled him into a bad situation.
But overall, if you're Liquid, you're completely fine. A position 4 for 4, and you took the side. You found Zaz that was trying to be a little bit sneaky there, maybe creep skip, maybe farm behind enemy lines. They punished him instantly. Slark so far has had very little impact, but Shaker even more so.
They're looking at Koifa right now and being like, damn, that guy's kind of farmed. Just wait until he gets the full Bloodthorn. It's just sitting in his backpack right now. He's waiting for the completed item before he sends it out.
Yeah, you don't see this very often. A Bloodthorn is, what, one of the most expensive items, if not the most? It's just... He's just chilling in the base. I don't need this, guys.
Yeah, healthy amount of net worth came their way after taking the, getting a pick off, then getting tier 3, Raxes. There's Roshan available for Liquid as well. And I think that's where Na'Vi finally has to say, enough is enough. We can't concede all of these objectives. We have to fight somewhere. See whether or not they're able to do so, though, as they are still severely lacking in core items.
There's 12k behind. I don't think it's even the items. It's the way they need to approach these fights. They need to initiate on this Oracle somehow. But for that to happen, they need to fight on the enemy side of the map. Their map is riddled with these webs, and there's just way too much map control coming from Liquid there.
It is a very nasty combination. The Treant Protector to be able to play front line and give you lots of vision and information, and then the Oracle to play the exact opposite, way in the back line and playing off of that vision that Tree provides. Then you've got some nice frontliners. Leshrac, Mickey, never afraid of running at the enemy.
Usually what you do in a situation such as this one as a team, Aghanims on Disruptor is very big. This is go time. But to make use of this Aghanims, they need to create chaos in these fights. Someone needs to go and just look stupid. Go in, force some spells out, force some BKBs so that they can follow up afterwards.
It's going to be Crystallized. He's going to jump onto the last track, forcing the Eagle Scepter immediately into the Static Storm. So they're going to be able to catch on him. The Overgrowth, though, they're turning around the Rolling Thunder, trying to get some control. Magical, though, hits the X-Men to be able to finish off Mickey. That's going to be enough. Now Zayat's hit by the Rolling Thunder. The follow-up, Koifa is going to try and chase down Zayat and will be able to do so, quickly eating him and turning him into babies. But Boxy backing up as both Pasha and Crystallized a little bit too scared to challenge just yet. They're going to wait for that Shadow Dance to wear out, then they're going to strike again. Pasha, he's going to be left behind here as the rest of Na'Vi fully retreat. They don't
You're forced to buybacks here, so you're kind of fine with that. Mickey and Taiga bought back. But the only problem is they will take Rosh afterwards, so that's the trade-off.
Yeah,
they should be able to at least.
If you don't have the Static Storm, it's like, we can't really contest that Roshan anymore. But as you said, with the buybacks being used, they can play for the high ground defense. If they win that fight with an Aegis, if they bring down Mickey twice, no buyback for him, then all of a sudden they push out, they can take a bunch of objectives, and then that net worth could fall back to even. But
the only problem is this is that second rush, right? And they will have Cheese on Broodmother, Aegis on Lesh, and the high ground push should be much, much easier for Na'Vi. They don't, for Liquid, obviously. Na'Vi don't have Static Storm, they don't have Echo Slam as well to work with, so let's see. But it's Liquid, maybe they'll go back, farm, wait the 70-minute mark. No need to be too rash.
Secure that advantage. Liquid. And it looks like they're not scared right now as we take a look at that team fight once again. Even if they did kill Mickey, him being able to buy back and Boots of Travel back into the fight kind of forces Na'Vi to retreat at some point. And then it just becomes a game of who's going to get caught. Here it was Pasha.
I think one buyback there was just enough, but when they get the buyback on Taiga and the Lash, Slar can't really think about utilizing those tags that he managed to accumulate during the fight, so it's definitely the right option.
Pasha not going for the 90 damage because he's not right-clicking very often. Fortunately, Fisher is going to stop the chain stun here, and he will be able to turn around and get off that Viper Strike. Slowing him down enough. Okay, pounce in, pounce out. No, slow down. Pasha still going to be rolled over by the Rolling Thunder. They're going to be able to get the chainstone on the Zayats as well. But Magical into the back line is going to be able to bring down Insania before the saves can come out. That means that Leshrac on his second life isn't going to be able to have that save unless Insania can get in fast enough. But he can. He doesn't have a TP. Boxy pulled back in off of the glimpse. They're surrounding this heroes, but Mickey with the BKB is doing so much damage. They've killed Mickey. Oh no, or rather Magical, and Pasha's going to be taken out as well as this damage from Mickey is too much for them to be able to handle. Eagle Scepter on out. Koifa protecting Mickey. Pasha coming back in with a buyback as he starts laying out some damage. Mickey is dead. No buyback for him. Glimpse. 2 minutes down. Glimpse back. Can they get him with the kinetic field? They do have it up. That means the Broodmother can't go anywhere, and Crystallized is back with the pounce. He's able to get him, maybe catch more as well as another pounce is up. Taiga trying to get away into the trees. He is laying more and more out. The pounce misses. Blink up in 5 seconds. And it looks like the team... Oh, they caught Insania as well. He also bought back. Insania was trying to make his way back. He's going to TP home. Is that Fountain actually? No, yeah, he can't get away.
With the glimpse as well, he's just dead 100%. Lash is dead, Insania is dead. They can pressure the tier 2, perhaps even pressure the high ground if possible. It's only Pango and 3. I don't think they are capable of defending that.
Gee, this is why Liquid forced it to 70 minutes plus. They wanted to build up the advantage so they don't throw it.
Oh, no!
The pounce! Boxy flashes. Oh, he got the glimpse.
From where?
What a godly play. Look at that. Zayat's laid a ward inside the base and spotted Boxy. Sadly, he won't actually get the kill for his team as Boxy was able to get away. Close call twice in a row for him.
Yeah, but such a great play still. Such a great play by Disruptor to get that glimpse over there.
Okay, well, Taiga, he's going to force a hero back at least, pushing in that top lane.
No, that was really good for...
Magical.
Does he have detection?
Oh, he does have detection.
There you go.
But he was on the wrong side of the trees. He's going to be jumping forward, but Taiga is just too fast.
When you think about it, Boxy created so much space that they only just got to the high ground. And perhaps they will take this tower, maybe pressure even the Raxes. Let's see, Broodmother is up in 3 seconds. They need to take the tower. If they don't, Treant will just heal it up again. All right, that's enough. I believe, yeah, they will go back afterwards. They also see the double damage rune on the top lane. The shrine is opened up. The bounty runes are there.
Some words of ill omen from the panel, from Shiva specifically. Does it really matter if Liquid gets an advantage if they can't break that high ground? Liquid still hold an 11k gold lead, and they still have a clear win condition. Buybacks were used on Na'Vi. They just win one fight here, and then Megas are probably theirs, but if they lose the fight with a Static Storm coming out, Rolling Thunder gonna be able to lock down a lot of this damage, and there's gonna be the save from the Oracle as well. Mickey should not be dying here, as they're throwing a lot at him, but now he's gonna pop his BKB in turn. Look at all these heroes stunned up with the Rolling Thunder, and Boxy bouncing around like a pinball, stunning up all these heroes. He echo slams for once. He's still at the BKB going on. They're gonna be able to glimpse back somebody here, but Pasha is gonna be controlled up. 3 dead on the side of Na'Vi, one of whom does not have a buyback.
3 dead, but oh man, Boxy with that instant reaction. They use the Yule Static Storm onto the Lash, but don't fear, Boxy goes in, he sets everything up, then he goes into 3 of them, uses that net so that he stuns them once again after all is said and done, and easy defense by Liquid.
Can Na'Vi hold in a 4 versus 5 here, especially since they don't have the Static Storm?
No Static Storm, no
up on
Echo
Mickey as well. Gonna poke at him, try and steal a little bit of stats for the Slark. Any glimpses? No. Not just yet. A clear bait from Liquid, right? Putting Mickey on the front lines with an Oracle ready to go, and Boxy just with the counter initiation. That was beautiful.
He's also smoked up in the back, so he can initiate. There we go.
Jump forward, but he does try and jump in onto Crystallize. Doesn't get that chain stun. Crystallize popping his BKB. Now the Shadow Dance. So much AoE damage to go from the last strike. He's going to have to get away as his BKB starts fading out. Magical needs to be able to enchant Totem out as well. He's going to be good, but Ilias is not. Ilias dead. 2 heroes with no buyback now. Is Liquid look to be able to close in out 2 lanes of barracks?
You don't have the BKB on Slark as well, you don't have his ultimate, and because of that he can't engage. So you're pretty much fighting 2 heroes that can't do anything. That's Disruptor and Shaker. So they take another side and they move straight to top.
There should be nothing to stop Liquid here. All they have to do is stay spread, stay aware of Magical, but they group up a little bit. Magical not making that jump. Has the Echo Slam ready to go. Yule Sceptered up though. He's gonna try and jump in the air, immediately split Earth down, and look at this magic damage just raining in. No chance to be able to get off the Echo. He does buy back. He wants to be able to still take this, but Liquid maintain a composed spread. Not grouping up too much and all landing for the Megas. They're gonna let Mickey do his work. Crystallize tries to challenge him, but it's too much. Now Megas are up, and Mickey's gonna continue to fight, see if he can take down Pasha, who TP'd in to be able to fight this one. A Force Staff to be able to get him away. Crystallize into that back line, hit by the Split Earth, but it doesn't matter with the Shadow Dance. Dark Pact, he's able to take it off, but it also doesn't matter because he does no damage. Boxy gets on top of him, but Dark Pact and a pounce away does save everybody on Na'Vi. But what does it matter if you're faced up against Megas at 43 minutes?
They're just struggling to find use of this Earth Shaker. He uses that fissure really well. He catches 2 of them, but later on he doesn't initiate, he gets used and he just dies. At the same time, what he was trying to do there is delay, right? If they kill him, perhaps they waste a couple of extra seconds for that Viper to respawn, but they just kill him too quickly. They're 20k ahead, and it's not really a problem to take down a puny Shaker when you have Blood Turn on that Broodmother. He falls in a matter of seconds.
Flicker for Boxy.
They have so much mobility, but they're finding it... They're still finding it hard to breach those backlines of Liquid. They did it a couple of times, and you could see it. It was looking great for them. They won a couple of teamfights. You could see a small swing back in their favor, but then they tried to go on that last track. They tried to teamfight the way they used to before. They get baited. Oracle uses False Promise, and then you can't kill anyone.
When was the last time, like, Insania felt really threatened when they were attacking high ground?
Exactly.
You know?
That's the last time he died, when he bought back as well. He died once in the woods, but that was just a pick-off, not really a team fight.
Well, Na'Vi backs against the wall on the brink of elimination. We'll have to fight it out here. Near impossible odds. And win percentage, 99% to the favor of Liquid.
They just have so much. Everyone is just way too tanky on the side of Liquid, and even if you manage to somehow get on top of them, they have Oracle to save them.
Shivas for Mickey. A little something, a little more AoE damage.
Koiko with the Nullifier Bloodthorn is basically a little Doom on the side of Liquid, whoever he catches. Oh, when you look at Navi, they don't truly have any save besides some Force Staffs, and that's it.
That's super scary when he's able to come out from the trees close to melee distance and surprise you.
What do you think about Mjolnir on Slark? It's not really an item that we see very often.
I mean, you just got to get an answer to dealing with Megas, right? Slark isn't the best hero at being able to clear through tougher creep waves. Usually Dark Pack can deal with a regular creep wave.
My only issue is now with that Mjolnir, I don't think you're able to kill the heroes.
Yeah.
You'll defend versus Megas, but...
See what they're able to do here.
It's still Liquid and it's high ground push, even though they have Megas. And this might take a while.
Normally it would just be like, yeah, of course they're going to roll over it, but you just kind of get this feeling that...
Let's see if they can do it. At last, 46 minutes in with Megas.
Okay, leading the charge here. Carry of Team Liquid. And taking some impetus shots here. Pasha also slowing him down to half health, force that forward, but there's going to be the save from Insania, and that's where Mika just pushes forward and wants to be able to get at least one of these kills, but defensive force staffs get them back. Rolling Thunder on a Crystallize, but he already popped the Dark Pack, so he's going to be good. Liquid will retreat.
Yeah, they might wait for that false promise to come off cooldown again, and perhaps for Koikwa to find the right target to do mini Doom, right, and go on him.
Yeah, with the Mega swarming in, they're doing little bits of damage to the tier 4s.
Exactly, it's one of the strategies as well. Mickey just stands up front, Mega creeps do the work.
You'll stun Ilias in some trouble. They do have the clumsy net to be able to lock him down a little bit further. Nullifier as well as the silence, but a fissure separates the two of them. And they will be able to hold once again. Liquid retreating for a moment until Crystallize overextends himself into the Rolling Thunder. He got the Shadow Dance. Too much AoE damage.
No buyback.
He's dead. No buyback for 90 seconds. Boxy's going to bounce back into Pasha here in a second, but on the upper side, Magical's trying to go for the kill, but the Echo Flame is just not going to be good enough. Insania with the reset. Now Koifa's going to be able to pop the life steal for the full heal, and that's it. Navi is out, and Liquid do manage to crack the high ground 2 times in a row and are moving to top 8.
It took them a while in that first game. They took their time, took them about 30 minutes to really close out the game. But in the second match, they did show true decisiveness. They had that brute and Lash. They just moved the hell onto that high ground with the backup from Boxy and Oracle. There was literally nothing Navi could do. I just have a feeling they didn't utilize that Shaker the way Shaker is usually used. He had Agnes and Blink Dagger, but it felt like he had no mobility items to get to that backside.
With the Viper off lane as well, it just felt like Navi was out of their comfort zone from a draft from Liquid that certainly put them in a winning position. Liquid, as you can see, very excited to be able to the triumph there. And you know what? At the end of the day, we give them a lot of crap about, pushing high grounds and the memes there. But what's really important for a lower bracket team is how they learn and adapt, how they grow as a team, especially a young squad like this. And obviously, after that VP best of 1, the scare they got from being knocked out.
Traumatized, right? After that first game versus VP, you're just traumatized, pushing high ground for life. They're scared, they're scarred.
And then almost losing another one here in this first game. This is a team that eventually is going to turn into killers when it comes to high ground defense. You lose enough of those, right? You throw enough of those games, you're going to just get better and better. You're going to learn from each one of those situations, and that is exactly what Liquid did in Game 2. Building up steams as they make their way through the lower bracket. We have plenty more matches to go, though. We're going to take a break, then the panel.